Hello and welcome to Meet Our Makers, an artist interview podcast produced in association with Beats Per Minute. I'm your host, Jeremy J. Facette. On this episode, we get to meet Molly Drag. Molly Drag is the pseudonym of singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Michael Charles Hansford, and he has just put out his brand new album, which we think is his seventh, called Mammoth, which is out now on I'm Into Life Records. In this chat, Michael and I talk quite a bit about Mammoth, but also it is kind of a circuitous, roundabout conversation because we kind of already slightly knew each other. We had been following each other's musical work online for quite a few years and had chatted here and there about music, so it was sort of like a catching up more than a meeting, but we do touch base quite a bit on this fantastic new album of his and the risks he tried to take and the boundaries he tried to push for himself on this new album. We also touch on random things like the movies of Kelly Reichardt, or the virtues of home recording and the pluses and minuses of being a DIY, self-releasing indie artist. You know, he and I have a lot to talk about in that regard. So it is a bit of a winding chat, but it's two people talking about music and art and the making of it, the releasing of it, and what it means to us. So I really do think you'll enjoy it. And if you have enjoyed Molly Drag's music at all in the past, then you'll really enjoy it. And please check out Mammoth. So thank you for listening. This is me meeting Molly Drag.
Cut off because I live in this area of Montreal called Outremont, and it's like the most Hasidic Jewish neighborhood in the city, and school just let out, so all my neighbors, all the kids are like running around screaming and stuff. But if you haven't noticed it too much, then I think we're good.
I haven't heard a single screaming child.
Okay.
So I think we're okay.
Okay, good. Nice.
All right. Well, hi Michael, how are you?
I'm good. It's for some reason it's just gotten extremely hot in Montreal starting yesterday.
Same here, yeah.
You're in Connecticut?
Yeah. So I'm like 5 or 6 hours south of you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you just notice that like extreme difference all of a sudden in like humidity? And I don't do too well in humidity. My body kind of works at like half capacity. So I saved up most of my energy to have it for the conversation, and just been
kind of you.
Just been kind of laying around in bed for the last couple hours.
Just lazing around,
listening to like music or whatever. Yeah,
right.
that kind of stuff.
Pumping that new Billie Eilish record.
Oh, Billie Eilish's new record out? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shows how plugged in you are.
Yeah, really, really plugged in.
Yeah, no, it's super hot here. It's going to be hot again tomorrow. It was like just really cool out, and now it's hot, and then it will be kind of temperate again. Whatever, man.
It said like I don't trust like the weather. I don't even look at like my weather app. I rarely do. But I was told that there was supposed to be a big thunderstorm at some point today, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen, but I have hopes. I have hopes that it will later on.
Do you like a good thunderstorm?
Yeah, I love like stormy, windy, gray weather. I mean, yeah. I love the sun too. I just don't really think like I'm not really made for the sun. At least the sun that we get in Montreal is like extremely harsh. But I was in Mexico back in February, and I loved the sun there. And I also love the sun in Italy as well. I don't know if it's I think someone told me it's a different UV index or something like that. So I guess it can, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into that because I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to meteorology or lack thereof science of the weather. But
don't trust the weatherman. That's the moral here.
Yeah, I do love
the weather people.
The weather people, yeah. And I do, but you know what? I do love the movie The Weatherman with Nicolas Cage. I think that's
I have not seen that.
Oh, it's a great one. Like Michael Caine's in that too.
Oh, I don't think I've seen any of the like canonical weather people movies because I haven't seen To Die For either.
Is that early Gus Van Sant?
Yeah, with early Nicole Kidman too.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I love that song, but I haven't actually seen that one. It's like a young Casey Affleck is in that probably too, I
Oh,
think.
maybe you could be right.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I should have seen it, but I have not.
no, it's yeah, same here. I should definitely see that at some point as well.
Yeah, that was like pre super minimalist Gus Van Sant. It was like 90s. It was like Goodwill Hunting time.
Ye- oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
there's another movie around that time that I love, and I was actually just talking about it with somebody, and it's called Jerry. I think that's
Yeah,
like
that's one of his early like minimalist films.
I love that. I love that movie. I think it's
See,
so.
I couldn't make it through.
No, you couldn't make it. It's quite boring.
I don't know, man. Like I tried like for a moment, and I mean I was young. I was like in high school or maybe early college, but I tried for a moment to like watch all his super stripped back minimalistic films like that one and Elephant, and I just can't do it. Um
Yeah,
and I like to think of myself as someone who likes that kind of thing. Like my favorite filmmaker is Kelly Reichardt,
that's what I was
who's
gonna. Yeah, that's what I
right.
was gonna say. I was like, I've seen you post a lot about Kelly
Yeah,
Reichardt,
I
and her
talk about
movies
three
kind of.
things and she's one of them.
Yeah, I love her work too, but it is kind of
I don't,
slow.
it's very slow and it's very patient and there's not a lot of talking and there's not a lot of plot, but for some reason hers work for me and I don't know, I couldn't get into the Vince Ant stuff, but
What's your favorite of Kelly's stuff? Like, did you
I
have
mean,
like one that you think
probably yeah,
is?
I mean probably Wendy and Lucy,
Oh
um,
yeah, that's a
which is just like absolutely devastating.
yeah,
Um, and then I think the Lily Gladstone segment of Certain Women is like utterly phenomenal.
yeah. I love certain
Um,
women.
yeah, I mean, I love the whole movie, but her last section with Kristen Stewart is so good.
Yeah,
Um, and I loved Showing Up. Her last one was really lovely. Um,
yeah. I thought that was like kind of like a little bit lighter, a little bit,
yeah.
and I don't know. There's something in it that I kind of the slice of life
Mm,
kind of thing I really liked. Like, and my girlfriend, she's an artist, and
mm.
I've been trying to get her to watch that. So
Yeah. I mean, like, I saw one review call it minor Kelly Reichardt, but it's like I feel like all her films are sort of minor Kelly Reichardt because they're so quiet and slow. But I don't know. There was
yeah, like
something
what's a
I don't,
major
yeah,
Kelly, right?
exactly. Exactly. I don't know. Meek's Cutoff maybe because it's like an epic Western of some kind.
Yeah, that is a
Um,
great one. I
yeah.
do
No,
love
I
that
mean, I
one.
have not seen a film of hers I don't like. Um, and I've tried so hard to get her on this podcast, but I very, very foolishly invited her before, long before I had anyone on the show. And so now if I send an email, I'm sure I'm on like a instant delete,
Well, I mean,
like
you're like one you've had Will Oldham on here before, right?
yes, I know. I've had
So
Will
you're like
Oldham.
you're 1 degree separation.
Yeah, and before him, I also had Christopher Blauvelt, who shoots her films.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm circling the prize here.
Yeah, the time will come.
She really does. Although I do think I'd be quite intimidated. I mean, in terms of like filmmaking, she's sort of my golden whale, or my
Hmm.
white whale or whatever. Whereas like with music, like if I got Joanna Newsom on the podcast, I'd be just like beside myself. Um, to the point where like if I had either of these two women, I'd be like, I don't know what to talk to you about.
Yeah, imagine both of them in the same day.
I I can't. I would cease to exist. Um,
Well, I have nothing but the greatest hopes that you'll have Kelly Reichardt on here at some point.
Well, I've been very pleased with how this has turned out. I mean, I started it 3 years ago or so, and Adam Wiltsey of Stars of the Lid was my first guest, which was huge for me. Um, and
Hmm.
then it kind of just grew from there. And now, I don't know. I think hopefully I'm slowly, very slowly gaining momentum, and I can get my white whale yet.
Yeah, I mean, from an outside view looking in, like I've noticed like you more like into it and just having like more people on and more episodes
Hmm.
happening. So
Yeah,
like
and
it's
it
great
doesn't
to
help
see.
that I post so sporadically, but like I'm not like Mark Maron. I've said this before. Like I can't get people over every week, so I can't do that like regular schedule. So I don't think that helps me very much. But I think word's getting around. I've had more people in the past year, um, excluding you because I sort of already knew who you were, but people who I
Hmm.
don't know, their publicists and managers and stuff, emailing me saying like I think so and so would be a great match for you. And, half the time it's people I've never heard of, but sometimes it is people that were like on my list. I'm like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, exactly. And that just shows like when you put something out into the world honestly,
Mm,
I think, without respect or expecting rather like any sort of, return or whatever, I think usually that's when those pleasant surprises even become more like you hone them even more, which means
mm,
you like put the work even more into it. And like I
yeah.
think that that's probably, in a day where it's hard to ignore algorithms
Mm,
and clickbait and all that, like I think people still do see like the honest and like, work from people that, you know,
yeah.
would probably be doing it anyway, no matter
Oh,
the
yeah.
significance. Like, like I like to say to myself and like other artists and whatever creative people that I'm close to, that like it's always good to remind yourself that success doesn't determine value,
Hmm.
and especially in a like a postmodern world where,
Yeah.
you know, I think just doing the things that you feel like you would do no matter if you were going to show them to anybody, I think is like probably
Yeah.
the best way to approach it. But that's just what's worked for me.
Yeah. And I mean, we should say again, you and I have known of each other and sort of been aware of each other's work, but also just our sort of online presences and sort of who we are. And we've talked for quite a few years now, really.
Yeah, it's probably been
So
like 5 years or something,
yeah,
right?
and
Yeah.
I don't have any recollection as to how that started, but usually I'm talking to people on this that I've never said two words to. Um, so there is a little bit of a curve here, and that's probably why we're not jumping right into your new album, which is out in 3 days.
Well,
Um,
yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm so to do this, like for this is like so much, it's like really comfortable for me to do. And, this is the
yeah.
first time I've actually talked, I think, other than me hearing your voice through your music.
Hmm.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
my album, try to get on the album, I guess, tangent. It is coming out in 3 days. Finally
Yeah.
coming out.
I
Yeah.
know. I was actually just looking through my email because I was writing notes for this, and I was like, what was the first single again? I thought I'd have like a PR email about Dogfight, and I saw your email from almost exactly 1 year ago, and you had sent me the SoundCloud playlist of the album, and you were like, I don't know when this is coming out, but here it is.
Yeah.
So it's been
Yeah.
at least a year since you've been sitting on this.
It has. Yeah. I
Do you,
finished.
yeah, I
What's
was gonna say,
that?
do you know how long it's been?
So I think I sent the tracks to get mastered to my good friend Bennett Littlejohn, who I believe, I think he did some work for Claire, who you recently
Oh, okay.
had.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's on tour with Howdy right now in England and stuff. But I think I sent it to him probably February of last year. I think that's
Mm,
when I was pretty much like, okay, like I need to let these songs like go because I'm already kind of in like a new aura of writing, and I had to, sometimes things seem unfinished, or sometimes things seem really finished. But Mammoth to me, like I worked on it for a really long time, and I think I just kind of knew the last thing I did on it were the drums for the last song on the album called Knife in the Mud.
hmm.
And I'm pretty sure the last thing I was working on for a week was the snare sound. It was really bothering me. I couldn't, I thought of like getting rid of it and doing like plugging in like a program snare. And then I don't know, one morning I woke up really early and just pulled up the EQ and like full sized it. And I don't know, I hit something right. And then I was done. I figured I was done the album. And so yeah, it's been done for like a year. And you know, I spent a while talking to some labels and some people that were interested in doing something, or saying they're interested and then not hearing from them,
Yeah,
the whole cold emailing
right.
follow-up thing that feels like more work than anything
Yeah,
in the
yeah, for sure.
but But at the end, Bennett, the same guy who I love that I keep talking about because he's a good friend of mine, and he's such a exceedingly talented person. And he kind of put me in touch with this guy named Ethan who was starting this kind of little label in where he lives in Asheville, and was like, yeah, he's interested in, maybe doing something with you. And I did a call with Ethan probably around like the later summer last year, I think, at the end of the summer, early
Mm,
fall. And where I was just, we kind of just did this thing where he was going to do like a distro release for it. So like I kind of handle the digital stuff and he handles the vinyl, which I really knew that I really wanted Mammoth to be on vinyl.
yeah.
Something about it to me, it just felt like appropriate for it. And I'm super grateful that Ethan wanted to do it, and that Bennett put me in touch with him, because it just feels like with this release, like the bureaucracy of it seems really low stakes for
Hmm.
me, because I feel like I haven't been on tour since 2019, and I put out a record in 2021, but I didn't really put much promo into it. Like I didn't really, it was a weird time to release music, first of
Yeah.
all. Um, but I think with this one is like kind of, I think what it feels like to me with Mammoth feels like I'm kind of reasserting myself as like a person that does want to, have like continue music as as like a career, and
Hmm.
kind of just let the world know that like, or anyone that still has been listening to my project, that I'm still, I hope to still tour, and I hope to just continue to put the work in, and try new things, and you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we should, sidebar, we should say, because I haven't said yet, that your new album is called Mammoth, and it is
Mm,
out in 3 days, May 24th, um, via I'm Into Life Records.
mhm.
And it is coming out on vinyl. It's a really gorgeous color.
Yeah,
I know that only matters a little bit, but like it's real pretty. It's a really pretty piece of vinyl.
yeah. When we were deciding to do we were doing the vinyl stuff, and there's a couple things. Okay, so at first, like I knew that I wanted to have um some of them, because I've had prior vinyl releases, and they've always been like colored variants. So
Hmm.
the majority, like, so some of these ones are just the classic black, which I never had before. So that's
Mm.
something I really wanted to have. And then when Ethan and me were talking to this great vinyl pressing plant, I think in Philly, they're called Soft Wax. They're really cool people. And they corresponded with us a lot. And there was one night where I was like, you know what, let's do a limited color variant. And I was doing a little bit of research, and I pulled up the early Coldplay Parachutes vinyl. They had
Mm.
like a yellow kind of, almost like what they find the mosquito in Jurassic Park. What is that?
Like
That kind of,
amber.
yeah, like an amber. And we found that, and Softwax ended up having something very, very close. So we went with that, which people seem to like that color a lot, which is
Yeah.
great because I do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a fun color. Um, but yeah, so you've had this record sort of in your hands for over a year. Um, and I mean, that speaks to the speed of this process, right? Like, you especially as an independent, sort of DIY artist, or at least coming from there,
Mhm.
um, finishing a record, and then you really, really, really want it to be out, on a record label, hopefully that will press it physically, and it takes time.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and that's something I'm contending with too, as someone who has self-released everything really so
Mm.
far, of my own work, and it's always been digital only, except for like a couple friends who did some tape pressings once upon a time. Um, and it's like the waiting is really hard. Um, and you even mentioned like by that point you were starting to kind of enter into this new phase. Um, is that challenging for you to like do you find yourself like putting off creating because you're still waiting for the last creation to come out, or do those not eclipse for you?
No, I think they definitely do eclipse for me. You know, I'm the type of person that I'll go a month without, picking up a guitar or playing the piano.
Yeah.
I'll but when it comes to like the finishing of a work, and you always kind of have this um prospect in your head for what you would ideally like to see, and like, most of the time it's not going to be what that is. So
Hmm.
but when it comes to this record in particular, I don't think I've ever gotten like so many responses. Like I'm pretty sure I got a response from every A&R person I reached out to,
Hmm.
in a really kind, really kind, like, messages that weren't just like, we can't do this right now,
Yeah.
good luck, but more like, we love this, whatever, like all that kind of. So and I think for me is like, I know from a production standpoint and just from a writing standpoint, I know that this is, you know, in a tier that's different than what I've released prior. And,
Hmm.
it was really important for me on this record to have like hooks
Yeah.
on the songs. So I think just getting the responses for me made me feel good. And I still wasn't completely sure if I was ready to enter the musician as like a product
Hmm.
space again. But now with the response from the singles alone, and the people I've, been working with, and just I think most importantly, it comes to the people that are around you and how they are receptive to things that you make. And
Yeah.
I felt this really big push, and a lot of people in my life are really responsible for that. But like, I know that you just finished records too, and you're probably, I don't know if you've started the emailing process or not, but like again,
Yeah.
like
A little bit. Yeah.
yeah, and like, that can be,
It's taxing.
that will take however long you're patient for,
Right. And I've been through that before where like finish something I'm super proud of and I go, okay, this time I'm gonna try and find a home for it. And then I get impatient because, it does take a long time. And then I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna self-release this
yeah.
again. Who cares?
Well, you
Um,
work you work fast. You work a lot faster than I do.
I think I work too fast. Like I think it gets me very nervous when I'm like almost done with something and I'm like, oh, but I feel like I shouldn't be almost done with this. Um, but I do everything. I think I did everything myself on this new one except for some like slide guitar on like two songs and some strings on one song.
Nice.
Um, and so I kind of just putz around, and then before I know it, I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
And then I wait, and then I have to sit on it and wait. And so we'll see how long I can wait, is basically what I'm saying.
I think the best thing to do when it comes to pitching your album, or whatever, is also just kind of pitch like, it's a really hard thing to, because really when you're pitching something you create artistically, it's kind of like you are pitching your soul to someone
Hmm.
that you've probably never met in person. So
Hmm.
whenever it's like friends of mine, I always tell them to just like keep the writing bit is like pretty short,
Yeah.
because if they like what they hear, they will ask to hear more about.
Right. Right.
I think anyway, like and like I said, I've never, like, I had a lot of really, like, I've been emailing like Drag City probably since I was 21 or something, and I'm
Right. Right.
33 now, and this was the first time they ever responded to me. And they were just, they were super kind, and they said, this is like not a perfect quote of what they said, but it was something like, we're so behind in our back catalog of like trying to release like prior albums and stuff. And they're like, but by the sounds of your album, we don't think you'll have any problem finding the right home for it. And
That's
like,
nice.
it just made me,
Yeah.
yeah. it made
Well,
me
because
really
that
happy.
that validation, like, I'm glad you're talking about it because I do feel like people, especially in your sphere or maybe even in my sphere, which, you've at, objectively you have had more, like visibility than like someone like me, and that's just true. And it's like, but even in this DIY sphere, it's like I feel like there is a taboo around like talking about that validation, but that validation is so powerful. Um, because we make things and it feels almost a lot of times it feels like we're making things in a vacuum, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so when we do finally share them, we don't get the big pop star numbers of instant gratification. So when someone does reach out or respond to you and say, you know what, this is really good, like even if they say, but I'm not going to do anything with it right now.
Yeah,
That validation, I mean, maybe it sounds a little like simplistic or silly to people who aren't in it, but like it means a lot.
it does. It's a we see you, like
Right.
and I think like that visibility and for me personally, like I like that, like I'd rather that than, waking up one morning and seeing like my monthly listeners boost like,
Right.
5,000 or
Right.
something. Like I think I feel really lucky that I started Molly Drag like almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years ago soon. And
Hmm.
I started this project for like a few years before there was streaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it was mostly like again, like it was Bandcamp and like or whatever. And I think um I guess I feel just like a lot like I'm definitely a lot older than like I'm 10 years older than I was
Right. Right.
when I started it. But I think the you just have to always bring in as much grace
Mm-hmm.
into it as much as you can because uh because if you make things that connect with people and you see that this a lot of the times like sometimes like the same people that will send you like an email when you release something or
Yeah.
like that connection that you make with someone through your art is like an incredible thing, and I don't think it needs to be in the masses for it to be any more special. Like I would actually probably could argue that it's really the reverse of
Yeah.
that connection that you make of um doing something, like I haven't really gotten super excited for like a new record in a while. And the new Amen Dunes record came out, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard it or like
I
just
haven't
see.
yet. No.
Okay, or just like the way that Damon like and just did like really low key kind of like promotion and just like so that's like to me that's like the dream,
Yeah.
to have as many like fans as he does, but to just still like be able to kind of just like I have like it's like kind of like a almost like you think of it as the ego versus the id or whatever
Mm-hmm.
of like releasing things where like it's I work at a like I manage a kitchen, like my one of my best owned the restaurant here, and I know I love that job, like
Mm-hmm.
I like working in the neighborhood and I like the regulars we have, and we're having the album listening party at our sister restaurant on Thursday, and like
Yeah.
I think like if I could be doing the exact same thing with music at the same with the same, I don't know what the word would be for it, is like
Yeah. Level. I don't know.
yeah, at the same level, but still be working at the restaurant and like living how I do, like I'll be surely be happy because,
Yeah.
I live a comfortable life, and
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think,
no, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I don't think I'm the type of person that can tour half of the year. Um, I'm definitely a type of person that can tour like 3 months out of a year, but it's all about sacrifices, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, it's good, I think, that you have this sort of like position of that your life is currently in that works for you and is good. And I agree with you. Like, if I woke up one day and magically saw that, I had 5,000 plays on Bandcamp, I'd be like, oh, that's really cool. But like, it wouldn't mean as much to me as getting personal responses from people, whether in my life or elsewhere, who just go, this meant something to me, or like, this moved me, or that's really pretty, or like, there's something about that connectivity that, yeah, is I think more what we're looking for. Because like when people ask me, what do you want? Like, why do you want to grow your listenership, or why do you want this on a label? And it's like, well, I just want people to hear it, like, and
Hmm.
see if they can find something in it. Um,
Absolutely.
because like I'm just making this work over here that I'm super proud of. And while I don't make it for them, I do make it for me, as I'm sure
Hmm.
you also make work for yourself. Um, it means a lot when that gap is bridged in a meaningful way.
Yeah, I think you reach a point. Um, um, I think you do like, yeah, reach a point where you feel like you're at a, I keep saying point, but like the point I'm trying to make is that like you kind of know when something deserves more ears.
Yeah.
And I think the internet used to be really good for that, but now I
Yeah.
think we're, again, like you mentioned earlier, I think now the internet has kind of turned around and it is like releasing things inside of a vacuum, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like I was telling someone the other day, like I was like, the internet just isn't fun anymore. Like it used to be, the internet used to be fun, and like
Yeah.
it's not fun anymore. It's like it's all about it, it makes you think about like your worth as a person now,
Hmm.
and I think it's sad, it's quite sad. And I
Yeah.
and when you make art and you're proud of something, and especially if you've grown, if you know that you've grown in your art,
Yeah.
it's just a natural feeling to have more people want to see it. You know what I mean? And that it takes work, just like applying for a job is a job in itself. Like I remember living with my grandmother in high school and applying for jobs, and I was just like, why am I not getting a job? She's like, well, you're not thinking about applying for jobs like that's a job.
Yeah.
Like once you start thinking about that as a job, then you'll probably land something.
Yeah.
That's some early manifesting teaching. But like I always tell people too, like don't underestimate like just sending a letter or an email to somebody,
Yeah.
because some of the coolest things I've ever gotten to do in music have come from just sending someone a message out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
you know like
Yeah.
one of my best friends, Aaron, his project Fog Lake, like that just came from us messaging each other on Tumblr like 9 years ago,
Mm.
and now him and I are like, we're like brothers.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
mean, yeah, I mean, the guy who plays slide guitar on this new album of mine, Luke, is someone who has worked with me on music before for years, and has like he's the one who put out tapes of my past albums. And like we just met through mutual like music Twitter circles.
mhm.
And if it happens like that organically, like it's a lot of fun, and it's really cool. But I feel like maybe that doesn't happen as much anymore. I don't know.
Well, and those relationships too are like the greatest reward from putting
Yeah.
out music or film or art
Yeah.
or writing, like anything like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the 15 minutes of fame have successfully turned into 15 seconds of
Hmm.
video, whatever,
Right.
on whatever social app you
Yeah.
use. Like I remember someone was telling me like, oh, you should get a TikTok and start posting it, and I was just like, I can't, I can't do that.
I
Like
know.
I use Instagram, I
Hmm.
use Twitter.
Yeah, but you
I
use them in funny ways.
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah.
I try to like have my social kind of media presence not strictly music product,
Yeah.
more of like singer, songwriter or whatever, or like whatever. I try, but I appreciate you saying that.
I mean, like half the time I'll check out your like Instagram story and it's like a picture of a bench or something,
Yeah,
which I appreciate.
it's like well, you think of a social media app like Instagram that's used for like it was started for pictures, right? It's kind of
Hmm.
like your Instagram is your gaze. You know what I mean? Like the way that you see, you know. So if
Yeah.
I see something weird or like whatever, and I see like beauty in it, usually I'll just post it.
Yeah. TikTok is like a last frontier that I won't cross, especially, I don't know about especially, but also because I work in high school, and so literally every single one of my students is on it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to cross pollinate here. That seems weird to me. Plus I don't know. I don't need to. It's not like I or even you make very TikTok-y music. I don't think,
No, I don't
you know
think
what I
so. But
mean?
you never
Like,
know. Like I know Duster got like
oh, that's
a
true.
lot of their resurgence was because of like TikTok. But
It does happen.
I do have a few friends who are on TikTok that have told me they've used my music in their
Mm.
TikToks, and I was like, well, that's enough then.
No, yeah, that's enough. It's out
Like what
there.
like what am I gonna do? Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
can't. I don't have any ideas.
I know.
If I do ever get a good
Right,
idea for a TikTok, then I'll do it. Like, you know
right,
what I
sure,
mean? But
sure.
I just haven't gotten that idea yet, like that David Lynch idea, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I mean, I just started like in the past half a year trying to make reels for the podcast of like, little previews and snippets of it's so time consuming. I'm like,
It's yeah.
how do people keep up with this? I mean, I guess some people have a social media manager, but like I'm not gonna have that. So how am I in the world supposed to do this?
It's true, but it is cooler when you know when you can tell that it's not being made by like a third party
That is
source or
true.
what but I just started doing the Reels thing too. But it was because the music there was a music video for the third single Hellraiser.
Hmm.
It came together in like a week before the or about 2 weeks before the single came out is basically when Laura Lynn and I did the handshake, and she approached me and just she found my music and she wanted to make a video quickly.
Yeah, that is quick.
So it was very quick. We rented the Zeiss lens, the same like kind of lens they use on like Raging Bull,
Hmm.
and I think we did 2 nights of shooting. And like I was mentioning before, like this album kind of feels like I was more ready to put my face in front of it. You know what I mean? Just a little bit
Yeah,
more with the exposure. So this was like the first video where like it's a classic singing and walking
yeah.
video, which felt fun to do actually, and I'm gonna do more of them because they're actually they're fun to do.
Mm,
Um, but like I was in relation to the reels thing was like that's really easy to make reels with that. So
yeah.
um,
Yeah, and I mean that is something I noticed too about the rollout of this record is that I'm seeing Michael more, you know?
yeah,
Um Not even just in the video, but like I've seen more pictures of you. You're still not on the album cover,
yeah,
but
no, I don't know if
that's
that'll
fine.
ever. I don't know if that will ever happen.
I
But
mean, it doesn't need to happen. I mean, I've been on now, including the new one, I've been on like three of my own, and my face has still not been on them. So
yeah,
it just feels weird. I don't,
I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Because see, Molly Drag to me is like, yeah, it's like my project. And like
yeah.
but I do have a lot of help. So I always when it comes to me trying to explain it to people that have never heard of it, usually the first person to come to mind is Bon Iver.
Hmm.
Because I think that's easily relatable.
Yeah.
And most people have heard of Bon Iver at this point. But like Molly Drag could be me playing a set on piano at a bar somewhere, right? But
Yeah.
Molly Drag could also be a set with like two drummers and like a 7 member band,
Yeah.
right? It's all about honoring the songs.
Hmm.
As that's what Molly Drag really is, the songs. I'm kind of just the catalyst and
Yeah.
the person that kind of plucks them out of the air.
Yeah. And you
Like
don't, I
they're
mean, like you say, you don't record alone. You have plenty of really talented people playing with you on this record.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like it always usually starts off by myself.
Yeah.
And then I know usually who to go to, or
Yeah.
this one I was like basically halfway through recording it, and back in 2022 when I was at the halfway point, my girlfriend and I did like a month-long trip throughout Italy, and I ended up writing a lot of lyrics, and the last 5 days or something, we were in Rome, and our where we were staying had an old piano in our room. So I ended up writing a bunch of stuff on there.
Mm.
And then when I came back, I just had this like I would just I have a friend, his name's Niall Mutter, and he's a great musician and producer, and he, the difference between me and him is like he went to school for this stuff. So like the things that will take me like an hour to do, it'll take him like 3 minutes, or like,
Yeah.
hotkeys or something, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that. So I went to him for a lot of help with this record. I think like the song like Wildlife probably went through 5 different versions.
Hmm.
Um, Dogfight at one point had louder guitars on it, and then when I took them off and just let the pianos breathe, I knew it was done. And Dogfight's one of my favorite songs I've ever made, I
Yeah.
think.
Isn't that's such a nice feeling, you know?
Yeah, I just wanted to make some faster stuff.
Yeah.
I did.
It is probably the catchiest Molly Drive record. I mean,
Yeah.
there is a certain brightness to it. I mean, yeah, there's still some dark moments. Jump is especially sort of desolate. Um, but then on the flip side, you have songs like Dogfight that have like this uplift of piano, and they just feel a lot lighter than a lot of
Hmm.
Molly Drag stuff, especially coming after Resemble Another, which was
Yeah.
pretty downcast, I would say.
Yeah, very
Um,
much, very much so. Yeah.
and that was sort of like a mission for you, is to sort of make something a little bit brighter.
Yeah, I think so. I was talking to Caleb, whose project's called Cyanide Vessel. We were talking on the phone because he was writing a new updated bio, and we were kind of talking. And what I said was kind of felt like Molly Drag is kind of like this dusty like farmhouse, and I've just been inside and like making stuff, and
Hmm.
been inside. And with Mammoth, I feel like I've opened up all the doors and windows, and
Hmm.
we've been doing weekly rehearsals with the band here for the last 3 months, and we haven't done that in like 4 years. And
Yeah.
when we play like Coming Back for More, which is like such a Tom Petty like esque track, like there's a lot more smiling at band practice now, which is
Yeah,
which
right.
which yeah, which is really nice. But we still, and whenever I bring the band back together, and I'll be like, okay, well, these are the songs that I need to play from the new record. Now we can all like choose one from past albums if we want, which
Right.
is really fun to do. So like but it's weird because like the new record sounds and the way that we play it live will affect the way that we perform the older songs in a way which they don't sound as dark as they used to.
Yeah.
I don't know, music has a way of doing that, and like the way you feel when you play it has an effect. That's why I love, like, sometimes I'll love watching like a live version of Elliott Smith playing like Say Yes with a full band, and it's just like
Mm.
a rocker, like it's just hard as hell, like it's just
Yeah.
like, so I love about Elliott like that. He kind of just, he would just do whatever he wanted to that felt right.
Hmm.
But no, Mammoth definitely does feel like another. I just like, I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I keep, saying this in different analogies and metaphors, but I really do think that Mammoth is like a new chapter for this for
Yeah.
this for this project, and I've never taken as long to do something and just wait patiently for the ideas to come,
Yeah.
and when the ideas did come, immediately expand on them. I think was like the most important kind of thing, and doing things with purpose, and not like I wasn't experimenting as much or anything like that, but I wasn't like drenching things in reverb as much, and I wasn't, I really
Yeah.
wanted every track, I wanted it to have a purpose, and I wanted it to be heard, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to muddle it up too much. And I
Yeah.
think and I think I've accomplished that with this one. And
I would say so. No,
oh, thank you.
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty pristine recording, especially by Molly Drag standards, because you do in your past work, there is a lot of reverb, and it is sort of lo-fi, and there is sort of like a creaky quality to it. And I do feel like Mammoth is quite clear.
Hmm.
Um, and that fits this sort of brighter sound that you have. I mean, moment one of Dogfight is sort of ascending pianos, and it's not it could have been like a muddy, mess of piano keys, and it's not. Um And that is something new, I think, for Molly Drag, especially for people who have been listening to you for a few for a few albums since this one and Thumper and like going back even further. Like it has been, like you say, like sort of that old farmhouse feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now if we, play with your metaphor a bit and, the windows are open, lights coming in, it is, you can see better. And
Yeah.
I feel like that does come across.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate you saying that as like some, one of the people that I've heard the record. Like it means a lot to me to have that to be understood in that kind of way. Like even in just like in my life, I just feel a lot more um on kind of like solid ground, and I know what I want to do. And,
Yeah.
I think like appreciating like your own emotional limitations for
Hmm.
something in like music where you're kind of sometimes expected to be something that you're not, like and that's just not like the truth, you know what I mean? Like you can continue to remain true in music, but it
Yeah.
might not get you to where, like, it might not be parallel the entire time, but
Right.
that's okay. Like, um, yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention about Dogfight, which was funny because it was really early. It was one of the first songs I started recording for like writing. It was originally 2 times slower,
Oh, geez.
on just a finger picking guitar, and it sounded like very like Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska, like
Yeah.
bam, doom, ba-doom, doom.
I feel like it would have been like 7 minutes long.
Oh, it would have been. It was like, I think the demo was like 8 minutes or something. And then
Yeah.
I remember, I think like I was spent the whole day listening to the Headmaster's Ritual song by the Smiths.
Okay.
I was just listening to that song a bunch all day. I was at work and I was like, man, I love this song. I was listening to like the when Radiohead did a cover of it, um and then I just went home and I just did like a double time beat. And instead of like finger picking the guitar, I just strummed the chords, and where it was
Mm.
just like bum 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 bum. And then
Hmm.
but I kept the vocals at the same timing as it
Oh,
was
okay.
before. So it actually ended up being this really kind of cool thing where my vocals almost sound like I'm singing in slow motion.
Yeah.
So that was a really fun little and that's the thing that comes with patience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to I used to finish records in like 6 months,
Yeah.
like, and I would be lying if I said that like drugs weren't fueling some of
Hmm.
those things where like drugs will make you feel like um you're done or
Yeah.
you're making your best work,
Yeah.
but they don't help. They don't do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for this record, a lot more sobriety approaches to to the writing.
Yeah.
I mean, having a couple glasses of wine or smoking a bit of weed while you're writing, or throwing things when you're throwing stuff at the wall, see if it sticks.
Hmm.
But for me, when it comes to like producing, I usually like to do that in the early morning,
Yeah.
when I'm like fully like just kind of clear, and I can like
Yeah.
really, I almost feel like I hear better in the morning because I've been like, this might sound nutty, but I feel like I can hear better in the morning because I've spent all night like sleeping and like quiet.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe if you like work in like a restaurant or something like in a city like I do, and it's the buzzing of the city is just loud in itself, and you go
Yeah.
home, work on music, your ears might not be in the best condition. I have a bit of like a hypochondria about like my ears.
But I mean, I think most people would agree when you first wake up, everything sounds louder.
Yeah,
So maybe there's something to that.
maybe. Yeah. I just
Maybe
get
maybe I'll have to keep that in mind when I have 10 weeks off in the summer from teaching.
oh yeah, that's coming up soon then, isn't it?
Yeah, I can spend every morning toiling away in here.
That's awesome. That's so sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Good, like the teacher, like kind of, even though teachers deserve to get paid way more than they do, I guess having the summers off is a great
It
little
it is
plus.
nice. It is also a very nice job to have if you also have creative pursuits. So I am fortunate for that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's weird. Like I feel like, a lot of artists I know are teachers.
Hmm.
A lot, I mean, almost all of the artists I know have worked in a restaurant at some point. But those things go real hand in hand. I've like what I've seen in my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's just good to have like a job, like like something that you do, like something that you
Right.
do. For me, it's really important for me to work with my hands. I think, it keeps me calm, and it helps me think more,
Yeah.
and not take the world and people. When you see strangers and you do a service job, or you talk to a meat supplier, or you talk to a your produce supplier, you tend to remove your ego a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it keeps you separated from this, you know
Yeah.
what you think you are when you look in the mirror thing, because that's what you see when you look in the mirror isn't actually who you are.
Yeah.
So I always find that, the stress of a job is good too, in a weird way.
Yeah.
And it brings you back into your art in some ways.
Yeah.
Like, for me, having this listening party at our sister restaurant on Thursday feels like so great. I don't know why. It's just like bringing both my worlds together.
Yeah,
Or
it's
like
nice.
whenever I get recognized at work, um, is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's been a couple times where I've been like, no, I don't know who that is.
Do you lie?
I did that. Like, I've done that like once or twice as a
That's
joke.
hilarious. I mean, I would probably do the same thing because like I don't tell my kids that I make music, and I think generally they don't find it. But like if they did, I feel like I'd be like, "What? That doesn't even sound like me." Like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's something weird about it, but that's because I teach teenagers. That's different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. There's a little bit more of a relationship there than, like, a guy coming to get a sandwich before he
Yeah,
goes back to work on the bulldozer or
right.
something
He
like
he
that.
can know that you are Molly Dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, exactly. But
But things are good for you right now as we head into release time.
yeah, they feel good. There's been a lot of
Hmm.
just kind of cool things that have happened. Like, my girlfriend painted this beautiful piece for this our local record store here called Phenopolis, and they let us take the whole window display for this beautiful painting that Gemma did. And
Hmm.
that's just around the corner from where I work. There's just been a lot of like local Mile End, Montreal kind of support for me. That just
Yeah.
feels really local support is like the best. Like, that's just, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I'm going to be showing this people the record on Thursday night.
Yeah.
That before, but I'll give it a go. There'll be like one person in the thing. That'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, right. It's
You never know.
whoever comes. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
that's
I'll
what
be
it's
at the
for.
bar. I'll be at the bar anyway, so I don't know how
Yeah.
much I'm going to be in the chat. So, no,
Yeah.
everything else is feeling pretty good. Most of all now, like, my head's just kind of like, I'm starting, I'm going to see how the album flows out, and we're having a release show here on June 7th. And
Hmm.
I think where my brain is at now, I'm already halfway done recording another record right now.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm really starting to think about touring,
Hmm.
and my goal is I would really like to be like a supporting act for an artist. I've never done that before on a tour.
Yeah.
A little bit less like Aaron, my brother Aaron there, good friend,
Hmm.
not my real brother, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He was just opening for band Loving on like a month-long tour,
Oh, nice.
and he was just doing it guitar vocals.
Yeah.
And he came and played a show here, and I hadn't seen him in like a year, and I was just like, this is I would like to do something like that
Yeah.
if the opportunity arises. So I guess, like, me thinking about it, I'm just kind of manifesting, or like or just like getting ready to maybe start entering the cold emailing, hey,
Mm-hmm.
tour question mark part.
Right, right.
But I'm just excited to get this album out. Like, I feel like the birds have long hatched out of their eggs in the
Yeah.
nest, and they're really dying to get out of there now.
No, it's
So
exciting. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm glad that you're you're doing well these days. I'm glad.
No, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm very glad to hear that.
And I'm excited to, once this week's over, I'll definitely be able to get to your record, and I look forward to listening to it.
Yeah, no, thank you. I do appreciate that. I'm hopeful for this one. I do think it's similar to probably how you feel about Mammoth. I do feel like this is like in a lot of ways the best or most important record I've made for myself.
Yeah.
And so
and that alone is just like the best. Like
right. No,
right?
it feels really good. And like for a very long time in my music making life, whatever you want to call it, I would write exclusively not about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would come up with it would be first person songs, but they were almost never about me or anything I had actually like experienced. And then somewhat recently, over the past couple of years, I sort of did a 180 on that. And now this is like absolutely very specifically about an experience that I've had recently. And it feels really cool to like,
It feels more like kind of like a limb, like your arm or
yeah,
leg or something, right? Yeah.
yeah. Cause
Yeah.
it's, I'm not going to get into too much, but it's about a very personal relationship that I've had that has since sort of dissipated. And
Okay.
it's one of
Oh,
those things where like I clearly can't speak to that person about this anymore because
for
like
sure.
that
Yeah.
ship has
I've been
sailed.
there. I've been
Right. No,
there.
I'm sure most people have. And that's
Yeah.
the thing too. Like it's so
Hmm.
specific to me to the point where there are such specific references to things between the two of us that are like extremely um individualized to my relationship, but it is such a universal thing. And so when you can't speak with that person about it anymore because that ship is long gone, it's like at least I could make a record about it. At least I could make 43 minutes of music about it.
Oh, for sure. No,
Yeah.
I'm happy that I'll be have to keep that in mind while I listen. Because like when you have that cathartic kind of output, I think the one beautiful thing too that comes from that is it will help you let go
Yeah.
in ways that you can't really just do with your conscious mind. And
Right.
5 years from now, it'll be a nice little relic to go back and visit those emotions that you had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've kind of put it in its place in a form, you
Yeah.
know?
Like I haven't talked about it that much since I've made the songs because I didn't really need to.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Well,
And I
and
also think I keep telling people I think it's my bitchiest record.
I
It's
like that.
very, yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of,
Sometimes you got to bitch. Like,
yeah, sometimes sometimes you just have to like be a little bit mean
yeah. Yeah.
when the people fucking deserve it. But
Yeah, I
you know,
agree. Yeah.
so
There's a time and a place for retribution, and I think that probably the safest way to do it is through art.
yeah, especially when you know the person's never going to listen to
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then you can, then,
it.
yeah, exactly. Then it's a pure blank canvas, then. Yeah. It's
Oh,
great.
so fun. Anyway, so let's restate Mammoth, the new Molly Drag record. I have absolutely no idea what number record this is for you. I usually do.
Think it's my seventh.
Seventh? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll say seventh. It's the seventh
Yeah.
Molly Drag record. It's out in 3 days. I'm guessing this episode will be out after the release, which means that everyone listening to this right now, if you haven't heard the record, can probably just go buy it or stream it on Bandcamp. It is out May 24th on I'm Into Life Records. And I want to thank you, Michael, for coming in and hanging out. This has been a long time coming.
No, it definitely has. And thank you so much for having me. I feel
Yeah.
like you're kind of wedging me in between a bunch of like I think I'm like iron and wine and stuff, which is,
Well, so
you know,
be it.
yeah, no, exactly. And
You'll
I
be
really
you'll
hope
be you'll be between Iron and Wine and probably Lorena McKenna, which is like that's a nice spot.
that's a nice spot. Yeah. It's like I'm sitting on like, like a stage, like in between them. Like I'm just
Right.
sitting. Yeah, yeah. And if I run into Kelly Reichardt at any point, I
Yes.
will just let her know there's a really good podcast. You
Yeah,
should.
just tell her, give her my number or email address and just let her know I'm available.
Absolutely. You got it.
All right. Well,
Thank you so much, Jeremy.
yes, of course. And please go listen to the record. It's called Mammoth and it's probably out now. All right.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw is right. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, bud.
Bye bye.
Bye.